I'm here at the National Indoor Arena in Abbottstown for the launch of this year's SSE Airtricity League. Coming up in this preview show, we hear from Dundalk fullback Darragh Leahy. We also hear from a host of former Lily-White heroes, including Stephen O'Donnell, obviously now the head coach at St Patrick's Athletic. We also hear from Ronan Finn of Shamrock Rovers. But starting off, we hear from Ciaran Kilduff, the hero of Dundalk's European run in 2016, now a striker at Shelbourne, who Dundalk faced in a first away game at Oriel Park on Friday week. Ciaran, second game of the season, Dundalk fans get to see again up in Oriel Park.
Looking forward to it. It should be good to get back, and for me, kind of since I left Dundalk, that'll be one of my first games back in the Premier Division, playing in Ireland again ever since I left for America and that. So it's an exciting one. It's our first home game of the season as well. So bringing obviously the champions to Talca will be a big night for us, and obviously first away trip for Dundalk of the season, so should be a nice little trip down the road for them, and hopefully a good game. Yeah.
Did you think when you left Oriel in 2017 you'd actually get back playing against Dundalk?
Never. I kind of, when I thought I was riding off into the sunset then, but football's funny, and kind of came back around for me, and I was delighted when I got the call off Ian to sign for Shells, and it was a good opportunity for me to kind of combine work with playing football, and I love football, so thankfully now back in the Premier now gives us a chance to match up against some of the best teams in the country again, and I'm going to enjoy it for what it is, because it feels like a bit of bonus for me as well. Another crack at the Premier Division, something that I thought, as you said, a couple of years ago wouldn't be possible.
Yeah. How would you assess your time in America? Obviously everybody in Dundalk were sort of the amount of Twitter accounts that had followers from Dundalk.
Yeah, people were kept informed anyway, but I loved it. It was the best experience, and I've no regrets. Probably what it's things happen for a reason. I was delighted to come back to Shells, but I would have probably stayed out there longer had my club situation out there been a bit healthier. But as I said, the league out there was a great experience for me to see. It was a great lifestyle, great place to live, and I had my daughter and my fiance with me, so I had everything with me that I needed. So I really enjoyed it. Coming home, I didn't know initially when I first came home would I be going back out there or not. And as I said, when the Shelbourne thing kind of came my way, I kind of made my decision easier to stay at home and still play at this level. So as I said, no regrets for America, but the timing was right probably to come home and start again.
Great season for you last season. I fancy you to come up and ruffle a few feathers in the Premier this year.
That's the plan. We want to be competitive. We've signed well in the off season, and even Georgie Point, another ex-Dundalk, is after joining me as well. So we've got a good crew there together, and we're training hard and we're working hard. But we know it's a big test. There's some brilliant teams in it. Dundalk and Rovers kind of set the standard again last year, and Cork the last couple of years as well. So that league is going to be an experience for us. The whole intensity of the games, maybe even the quality of the games, is now going to increase. The fixture list is more as well, more demanding. There's a lot more games in this division, and the pressure, to be honest, as well, to compete, because we're not up there to make up the numbers either. The manager's very ambitious, and the staff are ambitious. So as a group, we're kind of going in with our own plans and goals for the season. Yeah,
it's hard to believe it's 2020. That European runs nearly 4 years. 4 years ago this summer.
I take another one of those runs if I got it now.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah, I know. Look, they were the good old days, and to be honest, I met Vinny here today as well, and Ronan Finn, and we still kind of talk about those times as they were great years for us, and it was a great group. And Dundalk have moved on now as us as individuals, so we're all going our own directions and keeping on. But I think that'll always kind of have a soft spot in most of our careers and in our minds, because it was a great experience to be part of, and it was kind of something that very few have got to experience in League of Ireland. So as I said, we're moving on now. Who's to say someone else can't get a run like that again? I'm sure that'll be Dundalk's plan this season anyway. And anyone looking at it like Shells coming back up through the divisions and starting again, probably Dundalk have set a standard there. There's a blueprint there of maybe how a club can turn their fortunes around in a quick succession. So I think the league's probably in a healthier state than it was, and here's hoping there's more European adventures. Yeah, as you say, it's Dundalk's first away game. To be a big travelling support up in Drumconnor. I'm sure you get a lovely reception. It's the first time a lot of people have seen you since you left. That's it, and as I said, it'll only be my second game back in the Premier, and Shell's first home game, so there's a lot on the line. It should be a great occasion. I'm looking forward to it, personally, and I'm not going to lie, it was one of the first fixtures you look for coming back. I've got so many former clubs, Gavin, that
every week
looking at half the fixture list there. But no, long story short, I think it'll be a great occasion, and I think Dundalk and ourselves, will be two teams who probably haven't played that often in the last 5 or 6 years, and should be a great occasion.
And for once, we won't be too happy if we see Kilduff on the score sheet.
Yeah, I'll be happy, but we'll settle that one after.
Good stuff, Ciaran. Best of luck.
Good seeing.
Thanks a million.
No problem. Thanks.
Cheers. Now, that was the thoughts of Ciaran Kilduff, Dundalk's hero, as I say, in the European run in 2016, with those memorable goals against AZ Alkmaar and Maccabi Tel Aviv. Coming up now, we speak to another member of that Dundalk European side from 2016, Ronan Finn, obviously a member of the Shamrock Rovers team that won the FA Cup against Dundalk at the Aviva last November. And Ronan said Rovers are hoping to use that win as a springboard for league success this year. Just saying, it's like an old boys reunion here today. Ciaran Kilduff, Conor Clifford, a lot of old Dundalk lads here.
Yeah, listen, a lot of old Rovers players as well.
Yeah.
The Killers, Bermo, so it's nice to see a few old faces. It's been a long pre-season, so good to get back on again.
Yeah, you cold?
Oh, it's better in here. Yeah, obviously I'm watching the budget and not turn on the heat.
I suppose after pre-season, just mad to get into the real stuff now on Friday night.
Yeah, listen, I suppose as a player, there's only so much you can get out of friendlies that you want that competitive edge, and that's, Friday night football is what it's all about, and we've a tough start away to Bowes, and it won't be an easy game, but we know we prepare as well like we always do. We'll give ourselves a great chance.
Yeah, the last time we obviously seen you was the Aviva. It was a bad day for us, but what has it done for Rovers over the winter?
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's given the supporters, that buzz. It's been a long time since we've lifted the trophy, and that confidence now for supporters, for the group, was massive. We needed to get over the line, and a big trophy was something that hopefully will give us the boost. We know maintaining a league challenge is the next big thing for us. Dundalk, I'm sure, will be very strong. Pats will have recruited well. So listen, between a few clubs, they'll all have fancy their chances maybe.
Yeah. When he's finished the season and he's looked back at last year, what was it you think that sort of let us down from sort of going that little bit closer?
It was just probably the level of consistency just let us down slightly. I think we play a lovely brand of football, but we probably just didn't grind out enough results. It's something that comes with experience, and the group grown. The managers recruit well over the winter, and may get another one in, who knows. But the group is really, we've kept the boys that I'm sure the manager wanted to keep. We've kept a strong part of the group, and there's good experience there now, and hopefully last year will stand to us.
Yeah, those obviously the games between Dundalk and Rovers, they count for an awful lot come the end of the season. Big one coming up at the end of the month.
Yeah, listen, I know we've got Dundalk in Tallaght at the end of the month. Listen, they're always good games, they're always good technical football matches, especially in Tallaght, like big pitch, and both teams like to play football. So from that end, like, you want to get off to a good start, and we did that last year. We wouldn't say we dropped off massively, but in fairness to Dundalk, they got going and they were grinding out results, and playing beautiful football as well. Like, both teams at times throughout the season, good credit to themselves, but we've got to have a bright start. Gives you a good platform to build on. It's
got the makings of a real exciting league this year, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think Stevie going in at Pats, he'll obviously put a stamp on it there. Derry will be good as always. So Bowes, in fairness, Keith Long has done a great job there. Ourselves, it will be competitive. There's always never an easy game.
Yeah, say never an easy game. I said Friday night, you're obviously on Saturday afternoon against Bowes, which we know what that fixture brings.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge game for us, for our supporters. It's the one you look for when you look at the calendar, and when the fixtures come out. It's a really, especially in Dalymount, it's a tough game. But it's a great place to go and win. We managed to beat them last year in the cup semi-final, which obviously led to us winning the cup. But we've also been beaten there a few times, and it's not a nice place when you get beaten. So we've got to build on the performance. The last two games we played them in Tallaght, we beat them, and then we played them in the cup semi-final and beat them. And it's a different sort of game than maybe you play against a Dundalk. It's it's definitely more feisty. There's more of a fiery element to it. But listen, at the end of the day, it's big 3 points on offer for us.
Yeah. Good stuff, Finn. Best of luck this season.
Cheers. Thank you.
So that was the thoughts of former Dundalk midfielder Ronan Finn. Obviously now a player with Shamrock Rovers. Dundalk travel to Tallaght on February the 28th for what should be one of the biggest fixtures of the season early on. The third and final member of the Lillywhites Old Boy Brigade that I caught up with is Stephen O'Donnell. Former skipper, is now the head coach of St Patrick's Athletic. Asked Stevie how he's found it since taking over the role and what he expects from his Saints team this season. Okay, I'm here with former Dundalk captain Stephen O'Donnell, now St Patrick's Athletic head coach, and proof that the stress of management, you get to lose your hair. Does that happen since you took over the job?
I think it was obvious for everyone to see that it was on its way out, so it was time to bite the bullet.
There's nothing wrong with being a bald man, Steve. I know that myself. How's it gone?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. A lot different as opposed to playing. You're opened up to a lot more things, and it's a lot busier in the off seasons rather than playing. You just kind of look after your own body when you're playing, but when your off season starts, as a manager, it's probably the busiest period for a manager. Yeah,
you had a chance to come in and sort of assess things before the end of the season, and you try and put your own stamp on it now, going into the new campaign.
Yeah, look, that was important, I suppose, to get in for the last few games of last season to just have a look at everything and see where we were at. So, there's been it's a new squad and a young squad, and I'm very happy with the attitude of the players since they've come back in pre-season.
What's the biggest difference that you've sort of faced this time last year? Obviously, you were going into the opposition analyst job with Dundalk. Your playing career was over, but now you're in the main chair. What's the biggest thing you've faced?
I suppose it's responsibility, isn't it? When you're overseeing players and staff, you're responsible for all them people. So that's different, as I said, from a playing point of view. You only have to look after yourself as a player.
Yeah.
So you're responsible for players and staff and overseeing an operation, and that'd be the biggest difference. You're on call 24/7, and that's it. It's just busy. It's very busy.
What can we expect from this year, Steve? Obviously, I'm sure Dundalk and Rovers are the sort of top two, but we've seen last year Derry and Bows have great seasons. Are you trying to break into that sort of?
I'm not going to make any predictions. We just want to train proper every day, train with intensity, and follow that on a Friday night and see where that takes us. We're not going to make any predictions, as I said. We just want to improve. We want the players to improve week on week, day on day on the training ground. And honesty of effort, that's what we're going to demand. That's what is going to be demanded of the players when they take foot in training or on a Friday night. They're going to have a proper application and proper commitment.
Yeah, I suppose one of the biggest transfers, if you can call it, over the winter was Robbie Benson, obviously leaving Oriel to go to Pats. How happy were you to get Bob in?
Yeah, delighted. Look, the quality Robbie has as a footballer, and the type of person he is off the pitch as well. So both on the pitch and off the pitch, it was brilliant to get a player of that calibre and a person of that calibre. That will help sort of unite the dressing room and bring people together in the dressing room, and also on the pitch. We've seen, on big European nights and that, what he's capable of doing and the level he's capable of getting to as a footballer. So I was delighted.
Yeah, you've been back to Oriel. Obviously, the result didn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things at the end of the season. You're looking forward to going back this year when there's proper points at stake.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I'm looking forward to going back in the sense of pitting our wits against one of the top teams in the league. Same way I'd be looking forward to going to Tala and playing against Shamrock Rovers and pitting our wits against another one of the top teams. I'm just looking forward to going to every ground. I'm looking forward to going to Richmond every second week. Just looking forward to seeing our players go out and express themselves and play with proper commitment and application every Friday night. So I'm looking forward to the season.
And I suppose, like everybody here today, you just want the real pre-season is great, but you just want the real Friday night stuff to kick off.
Yeah, exactly. Pre-season ultimately is getting players ready to go and start the season, and I've been delighted on that front with the players' attitude, and we're coming into the last sort of week of pre-season. In regards, obviously we have Waterford at home Friday week, so it's all hands to the deck in that regard and getting ready for it, and players and the staff and everyone at St Pat's is looking forward to it.
Brilliant, Stevie. Best of luck this season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good man. So that was the thoughts of Stephen O'Donnell, head coach of St Patrick's Athletic, obviously former Dundalk captain. Our final interview of the day comes with Lillywhites fullback Darragh Leahy, who made the move to Oriel Park from Bohemians in the off-season. Very talented left back, an Irish under-21 international. He said he's hoping to challenge Dane Massey for that position throughout the season. Darragh, you were the one who sent out media duty. How'd you find it today?
Yeah, that's grand. It's the launch of the league, so obviously it has to be done, and seeing 2 or 3 of the lads from Bowers just asking how they're getting on, so yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's cold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely Baltic.
Yeah.
It's roast inside in the change room, but it's about -50 out here.
Yeah. How have you found it so far since you've come into Oriel?
Yeah, I've loved it. Obviously, I've still come back from a slight injury, so the first 2 or 3 weeks of pre-season I was with the physios. Obviously worked very hard, and they have got me right now. Hopefully I've played a couple of games, played 45 minutes, and last night I played 70 minutes, so just about building up the minutes, and hopefully it's behind me now and just kick on.
Yeah, I think the one thing supporters have sort of really latched on is your deliveries, your crossing. It's something you look like it's magic in that left foot.
Not last night. Last night was shocking, but no, yeah, it's just one of those nights. I think I do work quite a bit on my crossing, so yeah, I just have to keep improving that. And as after last night, I have to get back out and practice even more. Yeah.
It should be an interesting battle between yourself and Dane. I think you said yourself, Dane's held that position for the last 6-7 years, and he looks like he's come back really. He's not intent on letting it go. So that position for the left back should be really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he has won, I think, 5 or 6 league titles and everything else that has come with it. So obviously not just going to come in and walk straight in. It's going to be a very tough challenge, and a challenge I'm willing to take and work hard and learn off him. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to that.
When you see all the trophies here in the background, does that give you a taste of why you signed for Dundalk?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, hopefully this year we go one better and do complete the treble. So yeah, it does give you quite a bit of taste.
Yeah, you're one of 4 new arrivals at the minute. What have you made of the other 3 lads? Will, Greg, and Cammy obviously come in a couple of days ago.
No, Cammy was over in Spain, and just for the week, and he fitted right in, and yeah, very obviously the lads are very happy to get him in. Will was unfortunate, pick up a slight injury when he played against Cluj. I think it was only 10 minutes, but I think he should be back now in the next week or 2 weeks or whatever. And now Greg Greg looks a very good player, fits in well there in midfield, so yeah, really good times.
There's a lot of talk about when new players come in, they sort of integrate into the group, and they're nearly surprised by the intensity and the work ethic of the group. Have you found that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I obviously worked under Stephen Kennedy at 21, so Vinny is kind of similar the way he trains and stuff, but it's very, very high intensity, and it's very high quality as well, obviously, but that's only good because you can bring it onto the games then.
Yeah, we're obviously speaking ahead of the President's Cup, but looking ahead to the Derry game, the opening game of the season, it's a tough game in the first night, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, every game's going to be a tough game, obviously, but Derry had a good season last year, finished strongly, and they have made I think they've made a good few signings, so yeah, it will be a really good game. Yeah,
what was Dalymount, the return to Dalymount, was that the first game you were looking for on the fixture list?
Yeah, that was the first one. Look forward to that now. Yeah, for to get a bit of stick.
Yeah, I was going to ask what sort of reception you could get.
Look, it's all part of it. It comes with it. I don't mind it. It's just a game of football, and don't really take too much about what's going on around it.
Yeah, Darragh, best of luck to you this season. Thanks a lot.